Okay, now we're going to look at combining all these graphing techniques in one. Okay, let's look at, I'm going to call it example 1 here. Let us say that you're asked to graph f of x equal x plus 2 squared plus, plus 3. Remember guys, this is how the test will look like. And here is what I want you to do. First of all, it looks complicated, it looks too much. If you make a table, it's a no-no. Don't let me see a table in your test. Okay, no tables. The idea is we're gonna start with the translation always. So this has translation in both ways. We have x added 2 and outside I added 3, and the original function is the parabola x squared, is the squaring function. So the most important part is to start with the translation. So I'm gonna go to the left, since I added to the x, to the left by 2, and since I added 3 to the whole function, it's 3 up. So left 2 and up 3, and that is gonna be my new 0, 0, and we're done. Believe it or not, almost we're done. Why? Because now all I need is the points that I know exist for x squared. So now that's my new 0, 0. So this is 1 and 1, 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And here is my graph. That's all we're gonna do. So graphing techniques is to make life simpler, not harder, simpler. Okay, so I'm gonna do all the 5 basic functions. Okay, so that's example 1. Let's look at example 2. Let us say that you're asked to graph f of x equal to negative x minus 3, that's the absolute value, plus 2. So f of x equal to negative the absolute value of x minus 3 plus 2. Okay guys, think with me, think with me. What is the basic function here? Yep, I heard you, absolute value, correct. Now we know the absolute value, how it looks like, we know the points. Let us see what happened to it. We have 2 graphing techniques, the translation and the reflection. Do not start with the reflection. Start with the translation. For every graph, you start with the translation. So the original function is the absolute value, but what did I do to it? Subtracted 3 from the x. So am I going to go to the right or to the left? Yes, to the right. You're right. So 1, 2, 3 to the right. Then I added 2 to my y. So am I going to go up or down? Yes, up. So negative 3 added to the x, that's 3 units to the right, 2 units up. 1, 2, 3 units to the right, 2 up. And that's my new 0, 0. We would have been done if there was no negative, but there's a negative, remember, and the negative is out. So each y is opposite. So if it's up, it's down. If it's down, it's up. So instead of 1, 1, it's 1, negative 1. Instead of 2, 2, because it's absolute value, it's 2, negative 2. Instead of negative 1, 1, negative 1, negative 1. Everything is flipped. So that's why you can see that it's reflected. And that's it. That's it for example 2. Okay, let's look at example 3. Okay. Example 3. Let us say example 3. Let us graph f of x equal. How about 1/2 the cube root? We haven't done cube root for a while. X minus 2 minus 3 outside. So what is my original function? It's the cube root function. Immediately that you should remember the points. Okay, what's happening to it? Oh my gosh, we are doing translation and we are doing some shrinking. We're multiplying it by a half. Okay, so let us see. What did we say we're gonna start with? Yes, translation. Forget all the other the techniques and you always start with translation. Inside the cube root, I have x minus 2. I subtracted 2 from the x. So do I go right or left? Yes, right. Then minus 3 outside, meaning go down. So I'm going to go 2 to the right and 1, 2, 3 down. That's my new 0, 0. Okay? That's it. That's my new 0, 0. Now, each y, we should remember what is the cube root. I hope you remember, guys. Remember the points. You don't need to make a table, but I'm reminding you of them. 0, 0, 1, 1. Remember, these are in all of them. But then, what did we pick for a cube root? We picked 8 and 2. And we picked negative 1, negative 1, and negative 8, negative 2. Now each y is multiplied by a half. So here are my points from my new 0, 0. Okay, 0, 0 is always 0, 0. Instead of 1 and 1, it's 1 and 1/2. Instead of 8 and 2, it's 8 and 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's outside a little bit, and 1. Instead of negative 1, it's negative 1 and negative 1/2. And then negative 8 and negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and negative 1. So this is this. See it? It's shrunk. Okay? And that is my third example. Okay. Example 4. Let us graph how about f of x is equal to let's put them all. Are we ready? Negative 2 the square root of x plus 2 plus 1. All the graphing techniques in this example, okay, all of them, absolutely every single one. And again, if we use graphing techniques, things should be easy. All right, table will be hard. All right, so where do we start, guys? Yes, translation. Inside the x, I added 2, so I'm going to go left 2. Outside, I added 1, so I'm going to go up. So left 2, 1 up, and that's my new 0, 0. Now, remember, we know the square root of x, how it looks like, and the points. Now, for each point, the y, remember, this is the y, is going to be multiplied by negative 2. So, instead of 1, 1, 1 and negative 2. Let me make a table maybe just for you to see it. These are the points for the square root. Each y is multiplied by, let's not use the multiplication sign, by negative 2. So 0, 0. But instead of 1, 1, 1 and negative 2. Instead of 4 and 2, is going to be 4 and negative 4. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 for x and negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 for y. And it is this square root that is stretched, reflected, went to the left by 2, went up by 1. But when you do them all together like this, it's very nice and very compact and easy. Okay, the last one that we did not use is a cube root, so this way I feel good that I used every single basic function. So let's do example 5 and the last one, and let us say you're asked to graph f of x is equal to x minus 2 cubed plus 2. I would have let you do it on your own, but let's do it together. So this one has only translation. So I went to the right or left, guys, right or left. X is subtracted 2. Okay, 2 subtracted from x, yes, to the right, and plus 2 is up, so to the right 2 and up 2, and that's my new 0, 0. Okay, guys, now the points for the x cubed are 0, 0, 1 and 1, negative 1, negative 1, 2 and 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and negative 2 and negative 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only remember the points we wrote on that small paper that we did for all the functions, the basic functions. And that is my new one. That's it for now. This is all the 2.7.